He's such a louse.
It's Conklin's Comedy Night Christmas Show with City Rhythm at Parks Casino, December 5th and 19th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We have breaking news on so many levels. The big one is the United States shutting down its embassy in Kyiv today due to what they say is specific information of a potential significant air attack, alerting American citizens in Ukraine to seek shelter, and word that U.S. embassies in Italy and Greece also shut down. These are rare warnings and rare shutdowns as the situation escalates between Ukraine and Russia. We'll talk about all of that. And of course, we've been updating you on the official recount of all 67 counties here in Pennsylvania having to do with the recount with Senator-elect Republican Dave McCormick and longtime incumbent Bob Casey, who has not conceded. We're also watching very carefully in Georgia that trial that is underway, of course, and this is with the accused killer of a beautiful young lady, 22-year-old Laken Riley, who we've talked a lot about. So this illegal immigrant, Jose Ibarra, on trial, and just a more heartbreaking testimony has continued. We will have this morning as well more news on something we've been talking about, and I know you've had an emotional and strong reaction when it comes to parental rights. And across the country, we've seen it. We've talked about cases in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania, and taking center stage, a case in Georgia where so many people across the nation, including many of you, many of us, really supporting this Georgia mom who's charged after her son, walked alone less than a mile from home. And she's Brittany Patterson, and joins me now as we want to update what's going on. Thank you so much, Brittany, first of all, for joining me here on the Dawn Show. And what's the latest here? Are you taking legal action? I know you're fighting this, as you should.
Thanks for having me. As of right now, we're just kind of in a waiting process, waiting for the district attorney to decide what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. But I have not heard anything personally from them. Okay.
And so just to update everybody, this happened. It was the day before Halloween, and you had what? You have 4 kids. You took one of your kids to a doctor's appointment, and
Correct.
your now 11-year-old son is home and decides to walk to a nearby, it's like the dollar store. Can you take us through,
Correct.
first of all, what happened?
Yeah, so 2 of my kids are homeschooled and 2 of them go to public school. And so for the homeschooled kids, if I have to pop out of the house for an appointment or to run an errand, I always give them the option, they can stay or they can come with me. And I thought Thorne was going to come with me, but when I went back into the house to call him, he didn't answer. So I just figured he decided he didn't want to go, and he was, somewhere else on the property. So I went ahead and left to take my other child to the doctor. And then I don't remember how long it was after that, but it was towards the end of the appointment that I got the call from the sheriff's deputy saying that they had found him in Mineral Bluff, which is it's like 0.9 miles from my house. I think it's not very far.
Yeah. And just to give people a sense of this, that, this is a rural area. You live on 4 acres. This is not, because I'm broadcasting from Philadelphia. So this is not like somebody in a very busy city or a high crime area or things of that nature. This is rural, right?
It's very rural, and we have 16 acres.
16.
Mm-hmm. And my father lives in a mother-in-law suite in the basement, and he is physically disabled a little bit, so he's pretty much always home. And then just like a 30 to 45 second, maybe 1 minute walk through a trail we have in the woods, and you're at my mom's and my sister's and my brother-in-law's. So on that 16 acres, we have a lot of family, and, it's not unusual for my kids to be off, playing on the property or walking over to my mom's house. And, so I don't always know exactly where they are on the property because they're out playing.
So what happens next? So you get, a deputy comes to your door and says that your son was walking.
They called me.
Okay, they call you?
Yeah, they called me, said they found him. And, again, I didn't know that he had decided to walk to Mineral Bluff, but I wasn't, real concerned about it because it's not far. He's, almost 11 years old at that point. He knows the way home and knows the way there. So, anyway, she said she was going to bring him home. She brought him home. And then I got home about 20 minutes after she had dropped him off. And, so I talked to him and, hey, buddy, if you're going to go somewhere when I'm not here, just send me a text or, call me on Pop's phone. That's my dad. And just let me know. And then we just went about our normal day. We had activities. I had a little work to catch up on. So, at that point it was kind of behind us and we were moving on. And then at 6:30, which was about 5 hours later, is when the police came to my home and arrested me.
And you were handcuffed, right?
Yes, I was.
Why did so? And I've already, and just so you know, we've been talking about this. We got a ton of interest, Brittany, and we appreciate you as well as your attorney for joining me. But so I've already, laid it out, and we've talked a lot about the fact that he was walking to a nearby store. This is a country road, although the officer claims that the road can be dangerous or busy or that sort of thing. But, I think we've established this is not a city high crime, very busy travel. It's not 10,000 people a day traveling the road, that sort of thing. This is a very rural area. And just to clarify, as far as it was during school, but he's homeschooled?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it was. So I left it right before noon. And so it was right around that time. And they brought him home at 1:30. So all of this transpired between about noon and 1:30. And I have no idea how many cars, go through there daily.
But it's not a city. I'm just trying to, because a lot of our listeners are, we have listeners across the country, but I'm broadcasting, like I say, from Philadelphia. So this is not a busy city street. This is a very rural
It's a
area.
four-way stop sign. It is technically a 2-lane state highway, but when you're coming into Mineral Bluff, it's a 4-way stop, and you can go one way to head up to North Carolina. You can go straight to head towards Tennessee, or you can go back the way you came and go back towards Blue Ridge, which is.
Do you mind if I jump in a little bit, because I don't want your listeners who do live in the city and who maybe feel like their neighborhoods are high crime.
Yes.
To feel like they have to keep their kids indoors, or they're going to get arrested for reckless conduct or child endangerment. Truth is this: kids don't have to be indoors. It's not like, hopefully we're not in a society where warning, government says you must keep your kid inside.
Right.
I mean, look, what did we just go through with COVID, right?
Yes.
So, by the way, I'm David DeLugas with Parents USA. I'm an attorney.
David,
and
thank you.
Constitutional rights say this: parents decide for their kids unless government has some legitimate reason to interfere. So the question then is, if you say to your child, and you live in a city, hey, would you go down to the pharmacy and pick up that prescription for me that my doctor called in? Don't worry, your child shouldn't get stopped and you shouldn't get arrested unless doing so is outrageously dangerous. So the fact that there's traffic, well, as long as he's not walking in the street, and by the way, if he does, you didn't tell him to go walk in the street. You didn't allow him to walk in
Right.
Right? And that's the case here. Some of the media is portraying this as mom let her child, or allowed her child. She left her child at home, and maybe between the two of them, he gets in trouble because he didn't tell her, but she didn't make him go walk to through some dangerous area. And yeah, it is safe. But again, for your listeners who do live in a city, maybe in a high crime area, if you let your child outside, that's not a crime unless the child is so young, incapable, either physically, emotionally, intellectually, of taking care of themselves, and there's no obvious danger sign. And by the way, stranger kidnapping, something could happen, is not a reason unless a parent wants to. Parents have the choice to say, I'm too worried about my child. Well, that's fine. You worry about your child. Let the rest of us worry about our child.
Yeah. Well, and that really was where I wanted to lead with you, David DeLucas, with an attorney with Parents USA, and with Brittany, with what Brittany is. I can't even imagine somebody coming to my house and saying this about one of my kids, being handcuffed, being arrested, which has never happened to me in my life before. That would be horrifying. But to say that you endangered your child, and immediately, ding, ding, ding. For me, the spidey senses begin because I said, okay, something else is going on here. And I immediately said, I'll bet you this is a homeschooling situation. And I'll bet you that there's a perception that these parents, this family, and grandpa was home, by the way, but that there's maybe a conservative situation where maybe somebody is thinking outside the box, homeschooling, and maybe, just maybe, the local municipality doesn't appreciate that, especially when I heard that they said to Brittany, well, Mom, look, we can drop all of this and we can forget all of this if you just sign these documents and let us track your children. And then I just said, whoa.
It would be for her to track her children.
Oh, for her to track them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought they
no
were.
other parent in the county or the state is required to do that for a 11-year for any age child. That's not up to government to require.
No.
That's you're correct. That's
So
correct.
and just to let you know, here in Pennsylvania, and you're in Georgia, here in Pennsylvania, talk about baggage. We underwent some of the strictest lockdowns, shutdowns in the nation, and it lasted for 3 school years. And it was hell. And it's part of the reason I believe that the recent election just happened, because people are still suffering from that baggage, if you will, of overreach, government overreach. And that's locally, that's statewide. And obviously it was national, but it went state by state. Our state was hurt by that. Our kids were hurt. Children in Philadelphia were banned from their classrooms, and many of them did not have Wi-Fi, did not have devices. So this kind of issue really hits home with people here in Pennsylvania as far as what you're talking about. And we are one of, if not the number one state in the nation that homeschools and supports homeschooling. So I just wanted to give you that backdrop of Pennsylvania, David and Brittany, as we continue the conversation. But do you feel that this is a case of persecution of a family that has decided to homeschool children?
Actually, I don't. Let me jump in and say no, I don't. From the way I view it, it's a matter of a person with law enforcement powers that we as citizens give our law enforcement and the prosecutor's office, substituting their judgment as to what's dangerous, not dangerous, appropriate. As I've said before, if they really think walking on this road is dangerous, put a sign up that says no pedestrians allowed. Mm-hmm. And incidentally, the child in this 35 mile an hour, then 25 mile an hour speed limit, he walked, he's almost 11. He walked on the shoulder of the road where other people walk their pets and ride their bikes. Mm-hmm. And for part of this path journey, 9/10 of a mile total, he also walked way off the road down on a dirt path near the road. And then he crossed over with no traffic, because there often isn't, and traffic stopped. He walked over to the other side when there was a sidewalk. So it's people in law enforcement substituting their power. If you watch the body cam of the arrest, Britt was just such a trooper and said, wait, it's not illegal for my 10-year-old to walk into the town. And the deputy retorted, yes, it is. It's illegal for your 10-year-old to walk into town. And I'm coming out unglued watching this thinking, really, you just made up a new law. It didn't go through the Georgia legislature.
Unbelievable. Brittany, for you going through this, it sounds like you have a lot of family support, and, your neighbors are also family members. But to go through this, what would you share as far as how you're coping with this? And then as well, how you, I guess, your gratitude to Parents USA, who have taken, parental rights cases and other cases actually to the Supreme Court of the United States. We have Brittany. Did we lose him? Oh, no. I think
No,
we have David.
if you can
Okay.
hear me, I see her number still on
Okay.
with me.
I couldn't hear if she was speaking. Do we have Brittany? Maybe we lost Brittany. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Well,
We'll try to get her back. But for you, David,
yes.
just, as far as representing, and you have represented parents' rights issues in other cases, obviously. How do you advise a family who's dealing with something like this? Because I imagine the initial feeling is, well, that I'm alone as a parent. Oh, I'm alone. This isn't happening anywhere. Is there a pattern going on?
It's hard to say it's a pattern. There's a report today about a hospital intervening because a child was hurt, and they blamed the parents for being abusive when it turned out it was actually a result of the very difficult delivery of the child. And that's another tragic. The tension between looking out for the interests of children and protecting them from being harmed and the rights of parents to make decisions for their children is a difficult one, it seems, for people in power to traverse. But here's the thing. There are some clear cases. Oh, my goodness, we need to do something. That child has been hurt and abused. Let's jump in, and by golly, we should. And then there are the other cases, and I think Britt's case is one of those where you go, I might not let my child walk into town. Again, I use that word inadvisedly because she didn't let him. He just did it on his own.
Right.
Like kids don't. It's like telling your kid, hey, wear your helmet when you're riding your bike. They put it on. They ride around the corner, and when you can't see them, they take their helmet off. Somebody stops and says, the law says you're supposed to wear your helmet. You go back and arrest the parent? If you want, hang on, I can get Britt back on.
Okay, thank you.
Or not.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'd love to get her back. I'm sorry that we lost that connection, but we're talking with a mom in Georgia, and she lives in a beautiful home on a 16-acre property, gorgeous area in rural Georgia, and mom was actually arrested at her home, cuffed, and not that her son in any way that we've been talking about was injured. That's another piece of this, as her 10-year-old son, about to turn 11, takes a walk not far from home. This is just unbelievable to me. I can't. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. I know there's a GoFundMe page and a lot of support, because I think a lot of parents are thinking, "What, Brittany? Was there anything that I'm missing? I mean, was your son? Did he fall? Did he get hurt? I mean, they're charging you with endangerment because your son literally just walked on a country road safely, less than a mile from home. Did he get hurt? Was there anything else?"
No, he was perfectly fine. He was uninjured. He was actually on his way back home when this citizen stopped him and started asking him questions. Asked him if he was okay. He said he was. Asked him if he needed help. He said he didn't. And then I think it might have clicked in his head, hey, I'm probably not supposed to talk to strangers,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so then he went the opposite way to, get away from her, and that's when she called the cops. So no, he wasn't causing any trouble. He wasn't damaging property or stealing anything or hurt, so he wasn't really in any more danger than he would be just maybe more so driving down the road in the car with
Right.
anybody else, actually in the car. So
Hey, maybe we can get in Philadelphia the law that I'm going to draft and hopefully present to the Georgia legislature that says, because people say, well, what are officers supposed to do? I think they're supposed to do three things. One, because we're not going to get people to not call in, right? Everywhere you go, see something, say something. Hey, there's a kid out here, no adult nearby. Okay, thank you for your call to 911. Let me ask you three questions. Does a child appear to be hurt? Maybe we should send an EMT.
Yeah.
No, child doesn't appear to be hurt? Great. 2, does he look in distress, crying, curled up in a fetal position, looking furtively about, scared? No. He in fact, I talked to him. He said he's okay. Yeah, all right. Well, 3, is there some obvious, open, identifiable source of harm that it could hurt him? Open swimming pool, construction site. He's in the middle of traffic, not on the shoulder or on the sidewalk. Or there's some sketchy dude in a white van with candy and a puppy. No, I don't see any of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you send an officer by, and let them ask the same questions, make the same observation. And if nothing, then go about your business. Look, take care of the kids who are abused, who are hurt, who have cigarette burns, whose parents are on meth. Do not waste finite government resources on this situation. If we give them a protocol to follow, make them follow it, which is what I want to do. Because apparently every police officer out there can do either one of these. They can do nothing, or they can arrest the mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Britt, that you've had to go through this and endure this.
Tons of support on YouTube.
Yeah.
We used to run around with no parents at 11 for 10 hours a day as a kid. That comes from Mangle. Brett
are
says,
you kidding me?
Always amazing that strangers know how to parent your kids and what they can do better than the parent. Ringo's writes in, bizarre, outrageous. When I was 11, lived in urban Hudson County, New Jersey, walked everywhere. School was 3 blocks away. Playgrounds are ubiquitous. Good question also from another YouTuber. Well, what does this mean for kids walking to school in the morning? Are they, like in Deptford, we had the situation with the busing where kids over a mile away were being forced to walk to school. Are they going to be picked up, arrested, and their parents charged? It's a lot of good questions here.
And I'm pretty sure that's the standard in most states. When you live that close to the school, you don't get busing.
Hey, Britt pointed out to me that the next day, guess what? Halloween. So kids are walking to strangers' doors and knocking on strangers' doors in the dark.
Well put.
Not at noon in the middle of the day where it's well lit and he's safe. So kids are walking in the dark on Halloween. Are they arresting those kids because they're out without their parent nearby?
That's a great point.
Fantastic point.
Just want to let people know about. Oh, go ahead, Britt.
I was just going to say, I feel like for me personally, the other thing is that there's this cultural idea now that it's incredibly more dangerous, to let your kids have independence than there was when I was growing up in the 80s. And I get that people feel that way, but it's not based on anything factual, and it's not a belief that I personally hold. So, yes, if my children are out playing independently or my child decides to walk to the store, whether it's with my permission or not, I believe as a mother that I have taught them the skills they need to be able to handle themselves if they need to, and to be able to get where they're going and come back home. And I don't have this fear that there's a predator waiting on every corner to snatch up my kid, because it's just not true. So if people just want to know a little bit about my mindset, I mean, that's just kind of it, is that I just don't buy into this cultural hype that it's increasingly more dangerous.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I know that you were released on bail. You're fighting this. Obviously, you have a ton of support, not just here, but across the country. You have a GoFundMe, and you have a great attorney, certainly in David with Parents USA. So where do you think this goes next? Do you think that you'll get this dropped, or do you have to go back to court? What happens next?
I honestly don't know at this point, and David can clarify if he needs to, but I believe, the ball is in their court, and we're just waiting to see what they decide to do. My understanding is that they can make a decision to move forward and prosecute, or they can make a decision to drop the charges.
It's one of the craziest stories I've heard. Brittany Patterson and your attorney, David, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us, and we hope that we stay in touch and update everybody, because everybody really wants to support you, especially with your GoFundMe. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interest.
Absolutely. Parents USA. You can check him out. David DeLucas, great attorney, and that's a great idea to just suggest to the legislature. And this probably goes to the training of those officers, I would think, as well. But it started with a concerned citizen, concerned about a child walking to a store. I don't know. This is nutty. I can't help but think to myself that the same individuals might think so many other things are okay when you think about what's going on with kids, and you think about even during the pandemic, or even you think about some of these surgeries with kids that age at 11 years old that they're doing.
Crazy.
I can't even imagine. A little boy, he didn't fall, he didn't hurt himself, he was about to turn 11 years old. Just a crazy story. So we wanted to update you on that. We have a lot of breaking news, a lot to update you on, and many great interviews as well. Thanks for being here this morning at Dawn Stensland on social media, and we're on YouTube as well. Our great executive producer, Dan Borowski, and Jimmy Kelly, our engineer, in the house. Be right back.
Hey, it's Rich Ziola. You know how important privacy is to me. I've been telling you for years, right? I don't want the government tracking me. I don't want companies tracking me. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Privacy Pro is a 3-in-1 subscription service. It includes DuckDuckGo VPN. Gotta have it, especially when you're on the road. Personal information removal. I don't want any of my personal information on the internet. And identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. And it's from DuckDuckGo. Subscribers get a service that will help you restore your identity if it is stolen. This is unbelievable and so essential in this day and age. Now, here's what you do. You go to duckduckgo.com/1210. You get a week on us. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Exclusive 7-day free trial. Then pay only $9.99 a month. This is privacy that you need. Privacy Pro. And listen, personal information removal. This way nobody knows anything about you. This is what you need in this day and age. Trust me. Privacy Pro. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Sign up now.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/Shell Recharge.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. The holidays are almost here. Is your smile ready? Ready for all those pictures? Ready for all those holiday close-ups? Well, whether it's ready or not, those holiday pictures are coming. So if it's not ready, reach out to my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. As you know, my entire family goes to Dr. Mike. His level of care and commitment to dental excellence is simply unmatched. And if you're nervous to go see the dentist, don't be. Dr. Mike is a great guy. 2 locations to serve you in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Great music playing in the office. Great staff who works there. They're terrific people. And if you need a complex dental procedure like a dental implant, Dr. Mike has been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants for 10 consecutive years. That's right. So get that beautiful, healthy smile you deserve. And listen, my kids go to Dr. Mike. We all go to Dr. Mike. He's my dentist. People ask him all the time, does Rich really come here? Yes, he's my dentist, and Mama Zioli discovered him for our family. So reach out to Dr. Mike today, 856-786-2020, or veneriadental.com.
Hey, Percy, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Remember to take us anywhere with the free Odyssey app.
So let's get right to your calls, 855-839-1210. Bill in Springfield, you had a similar situation to what Britt and her family is going through?
Hi, Dawn.
Hey.
Yeah, a little bit different. My case is a little bit different. I'm going back about 8 years ago, I guess. My wife and I had just had twins, and they spent a couple months in the NICU, and we finally had gotten them home for our first Christmas together. And we had gotten a knock on the door from an investigator from Child Protective Services. And I think it kind of, relates to overreach here, similar to the person, on before me. But knocked on the door and said, we're here to investigate the fact that we got some news that you and your wife are high on drugs and your children are in danger. So, I was just completely surprised. We're 9-to-5ers, people of the community, grew up in Delaware County, know a lot of people, very good reputations. Dawn, you and I know some similar people, familiar people. So, we were a little bit taken back by it. We didn't know what was going on, but we allowed them in, and they, looked around our house and looked at the kids and realized, this is just a prank. It was an anonymous call that was given to us. So we let it go, but before they left, they asked if we could take drug tests. So we had nothing to hide, so we obliged. And it turned out that after they did a mouth swab, and it came back positive for meth on my wife.
What?
Yeah, it was completely outrageous. So me, I hit up everyone I knew trying to get this looked into, figuring it out, put a lot of pressure on Delco CYS to, get this test result, do it again. I feel as if they purposely slowed the process down over the holidays, only because the root of this, I believe, was because of possibly one of two things: a social media argument that I got in over local politics, where I think that, and I'm a Republican, and it was an argument whether or not part-time police in Clifton Heights should receive benefits or not. So, it was just an argument that happened, and I feel that some of the people that were engaged in that conversation, they worked in the county. They knew the ropes. They knew that these things could be done to people. So, I kind of wrote it off to maybe that. But then thinking about it a little bit further, there was a case, well, not a case, but about a year earlier, before our kids were born, we had some neighbors that I actually had contacted CYS on. We had neighbors right next door to us who were, high on drugs. They had children in the house. It was just a terrible, terrible environment. I had walked into the home, and the one child was sleeping in vomit. It was just a terrible situation. So I didn't know what to do. So we reached out to CYS, and it turns out that CYS actually contacted that family and scheduled a visit instead of a surprise visit like what we got when we did nothing wrong.
Wow.
So we went through hell, and our case was eventually expunged after 4 years. And with that being said, 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and it was finally expunged. But I guess my point to all this is that it's a little bit of a different case. But in Pennsylvania, from what I gather, you can just make these calls. You can just make anonymous calls. Mm-hmm. It's sort of viral what goes on with a lot of these cases. Yeah. But my whole thing is that it shouldn't be anonymous.
Right. You should have the ability to know. Yeah. You
can't walk into a mall and press the fire alarm and clear the whole mall when resources are going to be sent in and first responders. It's a similar thing. They're engaging agents to come out. The police are involved.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Sometimes these things are baseless and sometimes they're not. So, I spoke to county council about it because there is a movement in Delaware County. It's called Stop Delco CYS. It's ran by some woman, Rael LaPenta, and she's actually gaining some ground in terms of, bringing awareness. Delco CYS gets, and I'm not saying they don't do good things, but I do feel that there's an overreach of power, and they get about $45 million a year, from what I gather, in funding to pursue these cases and everything else that they do. So I know the foster care, there's been some issues there, but again, my case is a little bit different, but this is something that's growing, and it's been sort of, hidden amongst the public, except for those that can't afford a good lawyer or afford good representation.
Yeah.
And
Bill,
a lot of these cases are out there.
Thank you for sharing it. We'll look into the Stop Delco CYS. Thank you so much, Bill, and I'm glad your case was expunged. My advice overall is that if law enforcement at a local or federal level come to your door, just know that you do not have to let them in. I certainly would not advise a drug test right there. I would say, no. If you want some kind of a drug test, first of all, do you have a warrant or anything of that nature? And then if you want to agree to something, my suggestion is that you go to an official laboratory type sterile setting, because that's how things can be off, rather than just doing some kind of a swab. And, I don't know. I would advise against just doing all of that right when somebody shows up at your doorstep. So I would probably get a lawyer, go in, do whatever if you want to comply or not. That would be my general advice. We do have that just began a few minutes ago. This is the Bucks County Board of Commissioners meeting that I've talked a lot about. And we also have the recount happening here in Philadelphia and across the 67 counties. So we'll update you on that board meeting. There are protests. There are a lot of people who are calling for the resignation of at least one of the two Democrats on that board, where they were accused of criminal action. They're accused of defying the law, and the highest court in the land, as you well know, I've reported this, in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has ruled against them, that they were wrong for allowing illegal ballots to be counted. So we'll continue with that story right around, oh my gosh, there's so much breaking. Our heads are spinning this morning with Trump cabinet meetings or cabinet picks. We've got breaking news overseas, all of this locally, nationally. We've got it all covered for you. 855-839-1210, the number to call. I got to talk about my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles, featuring the very latest. And these are luxury vehicles from today's top brands like Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and more. And these are models with such sleek new designs, innovative features, powered by the very latest in technology. Right now, Piazza has thousands of new as well as certified pre-owned vehicles that are available across their Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey dealerships. Piazza Premium Automobiles stands out. Just visit them. PiazzaPremiumAutos.com, Piazza, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Times are tough. Sometimes a paycheck just doesn't cut it. Today, more people than ever need our help. I'm Ernie Russell, Board President of the Catholic Charities Appeal of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Through the annual appeal, nearly 1 million people in our community receive help through shelters, soup kitchens, schools for special education, and so much more. Please donate today. Your gift matters.
Please donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org. That's CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Enhance your home's curb appeal with new doors and windows from Emmons Roofing and Siding.
Our high-quality products offer style, security, and energy efficiency.
And you can choose from a wide selection of styles and finishes from major brands like Anderson or Provia.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us online at callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Are you looking for a place to call home? Say hello to hassle-free home loans with American Heritage Credit Union. Our team will guide you through every step, from pre-approval with mortgage rates lower than the national average to closing. And with the MyCU Home Connection program through American Heritage, you can unlock exclusive benefits, including a $500 lender credit, cash rewards, and discount when you buy or sell a home. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/home connection to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Not a member? Join today. NMLS 433838.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. 1210 WPHT.
As we learned about more Trump picks, the Trump transition news, my goodness, so much happening in the world. We had Trump's FCC pick, and this is all of his different picks. So the FCC pick, Brendan Carr, he is looking into or talking about that 60 Minutes editing scandal. And could it impact Paramount, that merger between Paramount and Skydance? And so already, we're looking at Trump's different picks, the cabinet picks, a lot of excitement around that. Trump flying to Texas. I got such a hoot out of that yesterday, and we'll talk about that moving forward with President-elect Trump flying to Texas, watching Elon Musk in what I think was an historic moment, if you will. And then, of course, the big story that broke this morning as we're hearing about the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv shutting down, closing its doors due to, quote, specific details of a potential significant air attack, alerting American citizens in Ukraine to be on the alert to get ready any moment to seek shelter. Yikes, as that situation escalates. And on the phone, my better half, Larry Menti, who needs no introduction.
Nobody buys that better half stuff.
I have to say it gratuitously.
Yeah, I know you're just being kind, but nobody buys that.
Oh, you're sweet.
They know. Trust me, they know.
I know you were on the air in New York. You heard about this? The embassy shutting down or closing its doors?
No, I just heard
warnings?
about it from you. I hope it didn't happen before 10 o'clock because I just heard it from you. No, that's amazing. Look, this is what happens. This is what happens when you poke the bear.
Yeah, I mean, so this is Joe Biden's this is Biden. I mean, happy birthday, Mr. President, 82. But we have a situation now where they allow this. And I said it on the air earlier this morning, Larry. Remember that our governor, Josh Shapiro, when hosting Ukraine's president, Zelensky, they were looking at a munitions factory and signing with a Sharpie some of those. And so I don't know missiles well enough to know if the long-range missiles that now Biden is allowing Ukraine to shoot into Russia, if those are the ones signed by our governor. But I looked at that this morning and I thought, oh, God forbid that those are the exact ones. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, the whole thing is horrible.
Yeah, the whole thing is horrible. And I have no idea why Joe Biden, and I'm sure it wasn't him. I don't think he makes any decisions anymore. I mean, heck, he walked into the rainforest the other day. I'm assuming he had to go to the bathroom because that's what it was.
Disappears into the rainforest.
There's no other excuse but that. I mean, that was bizarre. So I don't think he's making any calls anymore. And that is even more scarier because there definitely is something going on where they want to make their imprint on this war. And what they're doing is pushing us closer to World War III. This is a perfect example of that. The fact that now that the Kremlin feels like they have to retaliate, and Putin has already come out and said, you're in the war now. If you allowed them to fire missiles into Russia, you gave the go-ahead for that. You're in this war now. So this is a frightening situation. Deep down, I don't believe they'll go much further than this. I don't even think they're going to hit the American embassy. But if they do, just remember the American embassy is considered American soil. So that's an attack on America.
Well, and that's why that's a great point. I mean, that's why they're shutting down embassies in not only in Ukraine, but apparently Greece and Italy. Our U.S. embassies telling the Americans, nope, we're shutting everything down, everybody out. And so what does that tell you? And then one of the headlines internationally, I'm just looking at foreign media, because everybody here, and this is where we get distracted as Americans, because we're kind of like I don't know, is it a millennial, self-involved? So we always, as Americans, we report on ourselves. Everybody's looking at either Matt Gaetz and what is going on there, or the new transgender, representative-elect from Delaware, and that whole Nancy Mace controversy. And people need to look worldwide as European media, German media says, one of them is that they're totally unprepared for a level of warfare, a kind of hybrid warfare that Russian President Putin is set to unleash with doing energy or communications type of sabotage, or jamming GPS, or weaponizing migrants, all tools of the Kremlin. So those are, that news, it's breaking news if you look at, what's happening, what are they reporting in Germany and Italy and so on. So it's just frightening to me.
You heard out of Sweden and Finland that they both are preparing for World War III. I to happen. He doesn't want a war with us, but he can't look infinite. He's got to do something, and so that's what you're seeing now. This is saber rattling at the highest peak. He's stunned if he goes further than this, because he doesn't want a war with NATO, and he doesn't want a war with the United States, and that's what this would be. But what an absolute doofus. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Mm-hmm. Whoever made this decision to impose the...
I'm sorry, Larry. Okay, we're losing you a little bit. There are other reports about, and I don't have this confirmed as far as if it really was sabotage, but fear of the 745-mile fiber optic cable that runs through the Baltic Sea, that it started malfunctioning at 2 o'clock in the morning, may have been severed by, quote, an outside force, that from the company that controls it. And so that is, in other words, that is spiking the fear that maybe this is some sabotage going on with regard to Russia. So just one of the many. And we also have, and again, we had some flights grounded, but it looks like an IT glitch. Was that some kind of interference, or was it an IT glitch? So you know what I'm saying? Because now you have the fear of people in Europe who are saying, what's going on here? They're looking at everything as a possibility that it's some kind of sabotage. I don't know if we lost Larry or not.
Yeah, we're having seems like we're going through some bad cells.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Maybe it's the Russians. Russia. So we will Larry, thank you. Drive safe. We lost your signal. So, yeah, maybe we can blame the Russians. Russia. Larry Bear, hope you're safe. I know he is, but sometimes that happens.
So they finally made their way through the muckety-muck over in Bucks County, and Diane Marsegli has issued an apology to lead things off, Dawn, and we'll have that after the break if you want that. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. Thank you, Dan Borowski, for that. Thank you, Larry Menti. 855-839-1210. Be right back.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you could even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
There are so many terrifying political and economic trends tearing down the global economy. But your retirement does not have to collapse with it. The exclusive crash-proof retirement system guarantees over 5,000 consumers not only survive, but thrive despite market volatility, guaranteeing protected growth that cannot be taken away.
My name is Robert Sims. I live in Levittown, Pennsylvania. The interest credited to my crash-proof retirement system can never be taken from me. With all the debt that the nation has, I am leery of where the economy is going to head long term. I feel good about where I sit with the crash-proof retirement system, regardless of where the economy goes in the next 5 years or so, because it has delivered on its promises.
Schedule an appointment to crash-proof your retirement future by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
So the breaking news, as I had told you right at 10:30, that commissioners meeting beginning in Bucks County and people protesting. We know that we've been covering this for a week now, as we've talked about the recount that has been happening, that officially had to begin in every county across Pennsylvania, right, this morning, 8 o'clock. So that's official. Everybody's counting. Our friend Linda Kearns, we were texting back and forth this morning, 6 o'clock. This morning, she was headed into court. And I'll give you upcoming the wins and losses as far as what's going on with what they've kicked out as far as illegal votes. But the thing that went viral this week really was one of the longtime commissioners. She just started, I think, her fourth term in Bucks County, who has been controversial because she kind of said the quiet part out loud. And we had played that for you. Even Elon Musk had retweeted it, among others.
Oh, Dawn, it's getting kind of it's getting loud now. So I initially queued up so she starts with an apology saying that she wants to clear up, quote, confusion over the whole situation.
She's wearing yellow.
Yep. So here's how it starts.
So I wanted to start by apologizing for the upset and the confusion that I have caused the citizens of Bucks County and the hard-working employees of this county and my family, and those who share my last name. Anyone who knows me knows that I care a lot about elections, and I have been involved in them all my life, virtually. And like all of you and all
so she continues, and then she goes into the specifics, and Dawn, take a listen.
So I just want to tell you, I have certainly heard from everyone. I apologize profusely to the employees of this county and to the people who were called in my name, because all of that rage was directed at me. But I remind you all that we all say things that are out of turn. We all make mistakes. I made a mistake. And because I am an elected official, I am held to a far higher standard than everybody else.
Oh, they're saying resign.
So to the citizens I serve, I apologize, and I will continue to work hard for you and endeavor to not make such a mistake again. I will also clarify one more thing. When I inartfully spoke and used the word precedent when I was talking about provisional ballots, I was referring to the United States Supreme Court and the precedent that has been lost on many issues, including Roe versus Wade.
What? Ooh. They're not buying that.
If you would just bear with me for one more minute. Unfortunately, I took my frustration out on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, many of whom are friends of mine and who I respect and whose decisions are complicated and difficult and important. We are all going to learn lessons from this new media landscape, and most of all, I am. I am a small fish in this big pond. I do not have a megaphone on Twitter or CNN, or I am not a Secretary of State. I don't run a presidential campaign. This is the only opportunity I have had to set the record straight. Thank you for listening to me. Today is the only chance I have to stop the snowballing, and I don't really think I could apologize anymore, but I am truthfully sorry. And now our first public comment.
Uh-oh. This is a packed meeting.
Kressler?
Is this Scott?
I don't know.
Okay. We are going to, if this continues, we'll just take a break and then we'll come back in. But we're going to try to do it without taking a break. And our first person for public comment is Christine Heitman.
Apologize. Point of order. As we open the public comment period on agenda items specifically, I want to note that the commissioners had contemplated adding the burn ban extension to this agenda. The Sunshine Act permits there being late additions to the.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye here on that for when the speakers.
Let's watch if Scott Pressler comes up to the podium. But this is heated. This is the Bucks County Commissioners meeting. Diane Ellis Marseglia, long time, and she mentioned her family's name. You can hear the emotion in her voice as she does apologize and says this was misinterpreted, and said her comments about ignoring a Pennsylvania Supreme Court precedent were taken out of context. I disagree. They were not taken out of context. I know that she was when she made her comment that she now has she has apologized for it, but that doesn't change the fact that she made the comment. And the comment was that she knowingly violated a law. She knew what the law was. She knew what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court had ruled on. She knew what the law was and what the precedent was, but that she was going to ignore the law. And she said it. She said the quiet part out loud. And so people are calling now for her to resign or for her to face some kind of a censure. So at the heart of this is that she voted to ignore the court's directive to disqualify illegal ballots that might not be signed properly or dated properly, or they're just improper, illegal ballots. So she knew that they were improper. She knew they were illegal. And then she really verbalized that point and basically said, yeah, I know what they've ruled on, and I'm ignoring that. That's what happened here. And so obviously this has gotten national attention, and she's now apologizing. But what does that mean in the long term? What does that mean in the long term? That's the question here. Your thoughts, 855-839-1210 is the number to call. The recount is underway, and, many battles in court. But as far as all of the experts that I can see, Democrats, Republicans, all the pundits on all the sides of the aisle are saying at the end of the day, they don't see a pathway by which incumbent Senator Bob Casey wins this recount. And so then it appears to be grandstanding or manipulation or things of that nature. And that's really the criticism that she is facing. And by the way, the Supreme Court here in Pennsylvania, now we know she has friends. Hope she didn't talk to them while they were considering the ruling. That would be interesting. But her own friends apparently on the high court ruled against her because they ruled in favor of the law. 855-839-1210. We have a great guest ahead. More breaking news. Be right back.
Hi, everyone. This is Dom Giordano here with my friend and dentist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz, we've talked about your cutting-edge, state-of-the-art care. Why is that so vital?
It sure helps me diagnose and elevate the level of care I can offer if I'm using the latest technology. I use it on a normal, everyday basis, and I can see things that it's just missed. It's not misdiagnosed, but you can't see something that your equipment won't allow you to. So I feel that if I can't utilize what's out there, and it takes a lot to be trained on it, feel comfortable, that can work for everyone. Not just these advanced cases, but it gives you a very consistent, efficient, and predictable result.
Dr. Bentz and the team at Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for the most complex dental cases. Call Dr. Bentz today at 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
There's a chill in the air. You flip on the heat, and nothing. And why does it always happen right after you've finally gotten cozy? For as little as $13 a month, Oliver will keep your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems in check year-round. And guess what? Membership also comes with yearly inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, plus priority emergency service.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
So we have now Trump attorneys really pushing for the case to be overturned with regard to the Trump case in New York. That is prosecutors. We heard yesterday, Alvin Bragg, that story was breaking. The DA there really want this so-called bookkeeping hush money case conviction. They want it to remain open for 4 years and just kind of freeze it. Trump's attorneys back pushing for this whole thing to be dismissed. That's one of the controversies and the breaking stories as the Trump attorneys are demanding that a judge immediately throw that case out. So we'll talk about that moving forward. And then all of these different cabinet picks. So when we think about policy and the fact that policy matters, whether it's the economy, we've talked a lot about energy, of course. I had told you about this week that we will see Biggity Big's CEOs from Nippon Steel coming here to Pennsylvania to visit with some of these steel workers here as they try to buy out, of course, U.S. Steel. That's a major story that has international ramifications, something that Trump has promised that American U.S. Steel remains in the United States of America. But let's bring in our friend who's just a policy genius over at the Commonwealth Foundation. This is Andre Beliveau. Andre, good morning. Good to have you here.
Hey, good morning, Dawn. Thanks for having me. I apologize if I sound a little groggy. I have a bit of a cold this morning. I was told that we would get sick of all of this winning, but I didn't think that would actually translate into an actual cold. But thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We've talked so much, and obviously you're senior manager of among many different titles of energy policy at the Commonwealth Foundation, which is Pennsylvania's free market think tank. And so I'll begin there because I had talked about that as a business story, thinking about what's going on with U.S. Steel. We talk about fracking and what that means with regard to jobs, with the regulations. So as you look at these different cabinet picks, you look at Doug Burgum, and they're being named in, I think, it feels like warp speed. But what's your take as far as the policy changes that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, well, I think based on who Trump has appointed so far, whether it's Lee Zeldin at EPA, Doug Burgum at the Department of the Interior, and now Chris Wright at Department of Energy, and with Chris Wright and Doug Burgum leading this new National Energy Council that President Trump wants to establish. I think he's obviously clearly interested on delivering on his message that he gave to voters on delivering on American energy dominance. And when we look at these three appointments in particular and the issues that matter to Pennsylvanians from the federal level, and of course, Pennsylvania has an outsized advantage. We're the largest net energy exporter in the country, and the PJM region, so the 13 states around the Pennsylvania region and the District of Columbia, we all get our power from the same grid operator. The majority of that power comes from Pennsylvania power producers, and of course, we're the second largest producer of natural gas in the country. What happens at the federal level impacts Pennsylvania's economy directly and Pennsylvania energy sector jobs. And I think with these appointments, I'm very encouraged with the people that are put in place there. These are people who understand that we need to roll back on some of these draconian policies that have come out of the Biden-Harris EPA, trying to cap our energy production with oil and gas and coal. We need a rollback of this LNG pause that came about. We certainly need reform with these IRA green energy boondoggles and the subsidies that come from that. So all these things, I believe, will have a positive impact. These will be national level issues that have a direct impact on Pennsylvanians. So I'm really encouraged by the appointments we have so far. These are three individuals who believe in American energy dominance, who have a belief in energy abundance rather than climate alarmism that leads to energy poverty and scarcity. So if you care about Pennsylvania's energy economy so far, I think these are excellent choices.
And when we think about what's going on in the breaking news this morning, learning that the United States officials ordered our embassies overseas, specifically in Kyiv, in Ukraine, in Italy, in Greece, ordered them closed. And the escalation, the possible escalation that is being reported more so in Europe and Germany and across Europe, but the possible escalation of Russia and World War III is one of the headlines. That's one of the fears. But what's your take on this with regard to Russia, the escalation that we've seen, and then the involvement we know of with regard to the North Koreans? It was reported, was that a week or two ago, that some 5,000 North Koreans were brought in to beef up the patrols and troops in Russia.
Right. Well, I mean, there's never been a more important time to really take energy independence and security seriously. I mean, we need to ensure that our energy grids across the country are secure and reliable, and that translates into affordable power for Americans. And of course, a reliable grid means an affordable grid. So we really need to be ensuring that we have policies that make sure we are securing American energy independence, so that our grids are secure. That also means that we need policies that are going to allow American energy production to flourish, so that we not only have the oil and gas and coal supplies that we need to keep our grids online and to keep our economy flowing, but we also need to be making sure that we get rid of something like this LNG pause, and that reliable, clean, secure, American-made energy can go to our geopolitical allies abroad to help them to be able to defeat Russia and to be able to defeat all of these enemies of the West that we have. So, which is why I think this is so important. All these things are connected, and which is why I'm really encouraged that we are going to hopefully see the policy trends shift away from climate alarmism, away from energy scarcity, towards abundance and security. That was certainly what President Trump ran on. Our polling at the Commonwealth Foundation showed that Pennsylvanians wanted to prioritize energy affordability and energy security over, spending $1 more for some of these green energy or net zero boondoggles. So I'm really encouraged. I think the policy landscape is going to change. It's going to change in the way that voters across the country have set a mandate for, and there's not a greater time than right now because of things that are happening overseas and also the rise of inflation in the United States. There's good foreign policy and domestic policy reasons for us to have an energy abundance agenda. And again, all signals are pointing that that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I know you mentioned LNG, which is the liquefied natural gas. Biden administration is that. So I can't assume everybody knows the lingo when we're talking about this, Andre Beliveau. But the Biden administration did ask the Federal Appeals Court to set aside an order for the U.S. Department of Energy to lift its, quote, pause on issuing that liquefied natural gas, the export approvals, arguing that a challenge by Republican-led states against the permitting suspension should also be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. That was just right around Election Day, quite frankly. So where do we stand with that? Because it's the U.S. Court of Appeal. I know this is going back and forth, and I know that was a very long, wordy sentence I was just trying to jam in there, but what does that mean to the average American?
Right. So I guess the too long didn't read on that right now is that LNG, or liquefied natural gas, the ability to have more leases and expand on that was paused by the Biden-Harris administration. President-elect Trump has said that on day one, when he takes office, he will reverse that executive order, which he should do, and that'll be really great. But that's also only phase one of this dawn. There's so many other elements of just draconian regulatory policies, particularly in Pennsylvania, where we not only have to deal with federal permitting issues, but we're also up against a really outdated and untransparent permitting regime in Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro has promised that he wants to do serious regulatory reform. Seems he's put out some kind of a wishy-washy proposal just this week on permitting reform. But we need to hold Governor Shapiro accountable to his promises. He has promised permitting reform that includes things like LNG, that includes energy and environmental projects we need to get serious about permitting reform in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg, if we want to be able to reap the benefits that are going to come from President Trump reversing the Biden-Harris LNG pause. So that's one piece of the puzzle. It's certainly a big one. I think President Trump will reverse that on day one, but there's a lot more work to do, particularly at the state level in Pennsylvania, to make sure that we can get the benefits from that, and that Pennsylvanians actually feel that that economic benefit that will come from Pennsylvania being able to expand into the LNG markets.
And then when you look at policy, and I'll take you here. I'll do a little turn, Andre, with yesterday. I don't know if you saw this when President-elect Trump actually flew to Texas to watch this. I thought it was historic. It was incredible with Elon Musk, this heavy rocket that they were launching. It was just, back in the day, that would have been something that everybody would have gathered around, and, as a nation, we would have watched together. It just shows you how busy everybody is, but it was pretty incredible. And I think of Elon Musk, his innovation, his belief that we need to explore beyond, our planet even. And then I couldn't help but think as well, because we're thinking about innovation, I couldn't help but think, as we were looking at what was going on with Russia, Biden changing and loosening up some rules to allow Ukraine to do more. And it really brought me to a place where I thought, man, you think back to Reagan, Strategic Defense Initiative, a Star Wars program, but does somebody like Elon Musk and his influence on a future administration bring those kinds of things, a missile defense system for our country, alive?
Yeah, I think watching what Elon Musk has been able to do with SpaceX and everything else, really shows, at the heart of the Commonwealth Foundation's mission, we believe in, market-driven solutions. We believe in free markets and free people, and that, government should get out of the way as much as possible to be able to allow market and various industries to innovate and to allow, so that way all Pennsylvanians and all Americans can flourish. And I really think what Elon has done, again, with SpaceX and with other ventures, he's certainly shown that what private industry can do through innovation. And if that translates into how the Trump administration wants to handle public policy, embracing free markets, embracing deregulation, and allowing industry to thrive with innovation, I think that will certainly have positive impacts, not only in things like space exploration, but also with energy, also in commerce more broadly. And the more we can do to unlock the untapped potential we have in the various states, and especially in energy producing states like Pennsylvania, where we can really unlock our full economic potential, I think that's going to be great. And hopefully we see that across the spectrum in all of the policy areas that are touched by, that are going to be touched by the federal government, and hopefully we'll see that translated in state government as well.
Andre Beliveau, with the senior manager of energy policy, among other things, at the Commonwealth Foundation. Well, I hope that your cold that you heal quickly and get better soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Dawn. Always great to be with you.
Oh, it's great to be with you too, Andre Beliveau. He's great. I just find this stuff so fascinating. I don't know, am I alone here? Do you look at Elon Musk and was that something you were watching? Yesterday I was trying to get my husband and my sons, look at this. This is so cool. And they're doing this massive, the heaviest rocket ever, this launch that they pulled off. Everything went perfectly. And I love the fact that Trump, the question that he asked, because I always look what is Trump? What's he asking? He says, has anybody done this before? Has anybody done this before, ever? Is anybody doing this? And Elon Musk says, no. And that, yes, Trump loves that, So it's pretty cool stuff. But you think about this great mind, this innovator that we have, and he's hanging out with Trump. I just would love to be a fly on the wall and hear some of their conversations, because while regular politicians talk about bureaucracy and how they can maintain power and all that good stuff, I think these guys are talking about innovation, and I will imagine that Elon Musk is talking about things that nobody else is thinking about and looking to the future. Elon Musk wants to he wants to colonize Mars, basically. He is, if you think about, back in the day, Christopher Columbus, I know they demonize him, but he's basically the future of exploration. But the reason that he's building all these rockets in an unprecedented manner is because he believes that we need to have a safe space out in space, if you will. We need to have a future colony outside of this planet as a backup plan. That's essentially what's going on here. You know that, right? It's pretty cool. And then he's talking about building tunnels. We have to have tunnels in Mars. Oh my goodness. It's really cool stuff. And I love to read about it. I love to hear more about it.
You know what's the most impressive thing about this is it's how many days after the election, and space is already cool again. It's being talked about. Innovation at the front of mind. It's not like we live in a world where so many young people, when you ask them their number one, what they want to be when they grow up, it's become influencer. And I think we're going down a path of society where I think that might be righted as this becomes cool, as we talk about Mars. And Elon's always wearing those Occupy Mars shirts, and I think it might have been weird for Trump to say, hey, we're going to go to Mars. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the back rooms, that's what he promised Elon to join up on the campaign is, we're going to get you, we're going to help you, help SpaceX, we're going to help humanity get to Mars.
And how cool is that? I mean, it's the SpaceX Starship, the biggest, the heaviest. And to have Trump there and he's watching it, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think this is a great time in America and you think about job creation, but you're right. You know what else he makes cool? Math, science.
Yep.
And so if you believe whatever they say that other countries want to make our young people interested in stuff that doesn't matter, then Elon Musk would be the counter to that.
You look at social media, TikTok, Instagram, what's being fed to the youth at this point, and for the longest time it was identity issues, and now what they're seeing are space launches. They're discussing RFK's words about what's going on in our health system. It seems like intelligence is slowly seeping its way back into society. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We'll talk more about it. Get your thoughts, 855-839-1210. Thanks for being here. Be right back.
Hey, it's Rich Zeol. I travel a lot, right? I'm in New York, I'm on the road, I'm in Pittsburgh covering the election. Well, I got to have a VPN so I can secure my Wi-Fi connection wherever I am. That's why I use VPN from DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro. Privacy Pro is great. It includes the DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. Listen, when you are on the road, or even when you're home, you got to have your Wi-Fi connection secure. And with DuckDuckGo VPN, it's secured anytime, anywhere, at home, at work, abroad, coffee shop, hotel, wherever you are. And nobody's tracking your data. It's great. It hides your location from sites you visit, and because your connection is encrypted, even your internet service provider can't see your traffic. Look, do it today. Go to duckduckgo.com/1210. Duckduckgo.com/1210. Get a week on us, and it's only $9.99 a month. Duckduckgo.com/1210.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Andre Beliveau is always good. I love to really weave in some of these interviews. Thank you, Dan, for setting him up, because we want to talk about the future cabinet, what that would look like. And maybe these cabinet members are not as, let's say, sexy or controversial, but they're the ones, I believe.
He's great. He really is.
Isn't he good?
Yeah, he really is.
Because it just, I know that policy gets a little wonky and boring, but truthfully, these are the policies that matter for jobs and, like he said, energy efficiency, all of that. So the Trump attorneys, they are saying this is ridiculous what's going on in New York, and they are calling for this case to be thrown out based upon, this is the Judge Juan Merchan case, the case that was a so-called bookkeeping case, that they put something in the wrong column. They said this one is absurd, it should be thrown out. And it involved, that was the one where, with Stormy Daniels at some point, that they said she was paid off, and so on and so forth. So what the DA's office is, and Ellen Dershowitz has talked about this. I know Jonathan Turley on Fox has been talking about this, saying, no, you can't just freeze it and hang it over his head for 4 years. That's what they want to do. But the truth is, Trump's going to win in this. I think it's going to be a slam dunk. But I know that we had Ellen Dershowitz talking about this, even offering, I guess for free, maybe they will have to pay him, but offering to write the brief to say this is so obvious that you're not going to freeze the case. That's not what you're going to do. When you played that game when you were a kid, freeze.
Red light, green light too. Yeah.
Red light, green light, freeze. No, that's not going to happen, that they're going to throw it out. So Trump's attorneys today are speaking out. They're saying, absolutely not. We want to get this thing thrown out, and we want to allow the appeals process and the proper process to go ahead and throw it out. Do you have Dershowitz?
What's the purpose of freezing the case? It's so obvious to any lawyer. Now, people who are not lawyers may not understand why Bragg wants the case to be frozen for 4 years. While the case is frozen, until there is a sentence under New York law, Trump can't appeal. We all know that once Trump appeals, the conviction will be reversed. It'll either be reversed by the appellate division or by the Court of Appeals or by the Supreme Court. It will be reversed. You can't uphold a conviction when there's no crime. There's just no crime. And I can just imagine the brief of the government starting by saying, well, here's the crime, and then a bunch of blank pages, because there is no crime. You can't even recite what there is, because they try to turn a misdemeanor into a felony, and it wasn't even a misdemeanor. It was banned by the statute of limitations. There's just no crime. But by putting off the sentencing 4 years, actually 4 years and 2 months.
It's ridiculous.
So several things can happen. Number one, Trump can't appeal. So a conviction,
and that's what they're
jury
trying to do.
Verdict of guilt for a crime that didn't exist hangs over his head for 4 years while he's president. That's exactly what Bragg wants. And I suspect that maybe it'll be what Marchand wants as well. I don't know. By the way, I predicted this on this show and on other shows. I said a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that's what Marchand is going to do. He's going to put off, that's what Bragg is going to do. He's going to ask to put off the sentencing for 4 years so that they can't be appeals. It is a direct and blatant attempt to circumvent the appellate process.
Which is wrong. And they always love to accuse Republicans, or Trump in particular, of circumventing our legal system. Speaking of which, we do have the breaking news story of a Georgia judge reaching a verdict for the murderer of Augusta University student Laken Riley. That verdict is in. Suspect found guilty of all 10 counts total, and that was the brutal murder, including 1 count of malice murder, 3 counts of felony murder. Tell me that, Dan, again. We
got a break, conservative tours.
We do have to do a quick break, but I wanted to give you that breaking news as far as the Georgia judge issuing the guilty verdict. We'll talk more about that and the ramifications of it, but at least this grieving family and grieving community gets some justice. We have to talk about, yes, thank you for the music, escaping. Heading to paradise, once again, the Italian Riviera on a gastronomical event which only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in all of Italy, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, Portofino Rapallo, Santa Margherita Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre. 5378, yes, that includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany. Even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. You got to call toll-free 888-733-9494, or you could just go to conservativetours.com. Conservativetours.com. If you scroll down, you'll see the itinerary, hidden Italian villages you've never seen in person, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, Milan, and concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre, conservativetours.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Better water leads to a better everyday experience. With treated water from Martin Water Conditioning, you can experience silky smooth skin, refreshed hair after a morning shower. Your clothes and towels feel softer. They're no longer battered with minerals. Your coffee and teas taste better. Your appliances using water lasts longer. Even before you leave your home, your entire morning experience is improved with better household water. If you want to experience better water, call Martin Water Conditioning 800-887-7555 or go online at martinwater.com.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Parks Casino. Joe Conklin hosts national comedians every other Thursday. It's Joe Conklin's Comedy Night at Parks. Show dates and tickets. Go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. And right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All that you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. At to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
What a day to celebrate. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I have a New Year's morning hangover I haven't had since college.
What you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Pressler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on. That stuff goes a long way.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. We are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes to storage solutions. And we get the job done fast. In just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without the hassle. So trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com and let's cook up something extraordinary.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks, this is not a drill, it's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
So the major breaking news in the Laken Riley case is that the illegal immigrant from Venezuela is now found guilty on all counts of murdering 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student Laken Riley. And that closing argument chilling, as the prosecutor said, Laken Riley herself has given you all the evidence you need to find this man guilty of every single count in this indictment. So we are awaiting sentencing on that one, but a major breaking story. No surprise here. No surprise at all with this. But for the family, we've not heard comment, but they feel that the only thing they can ask for is justice. And a judge in Georgia has delivered justice to the family, the grieving family of one Laken Riley at the hands of an illegal, never should have been in this country in the first place. All right, let's take you to Bucks County. Wow, this is a breaking situation with a jam-packed commissioners meeting. We've been covering this for you, but now we had Scott Pressler speaking, a lot of action going on. He's rallying the crowd. Oh, my goodness, Dan.
And listen to the crowd. This is amazing. So it's an absolutely packed courthouse here that we see where they're doing this, and Scott he seems to be surrounded by a lot of similar-minded individuals, Trump hats and such. And he's called up on, and you hear the applause, and then he fires them up. And just want to put a producer's note here that coming up Monday, there's going to be a Mount Rushmore at the NAC, Newtown Athletic Center, with Dom Giordano, his show. He's going to be broadcasting live, where Scott Pressler will indeed be joining him live. So if you want to come out, meet Scott Pressler, that's a great opportunity at the Newtown Athletic Club on Monday. But Dawn, here's some audio from Scott. You ready for this?
Yep, breaking news.
Scott Pressler.
Good morning. Bucks County has been in the news a lot this year. Earlier, we flipped Bucks County from blue to red, and for the first time in modern history, there are more registered Republicans than Democrats here in this county. Number two, voters were disenfranchised in this county. And in fact, I want to thank Chairman Michael Whatley of the RNC and co-chair Laura Trump for suing to make sure that we had 3 additional days of early in-person voting, because voters waiting in line to do in-person, on-demand, mail-in voting were told that they couldn't vote until 5 o'clock, that the line was cut off. So thank you to the Republican Party for suing Bucks County and fighting for election integrity. And now, here before us, it's on the world stage that we have a commissioner, quote, by Diane Marsiglia, "Precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws any time they want. And if I," meaning Diane Marsiglia, "violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it." Well, Commissioner, the court already ruled that undated and misdated mail-in ballots could not be counted. You knew that going into the meeting. And I want to congratulate the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This speech I'm doing right now is going to be seen by millions across the country, the Commonwealth, and the world. And I have a message. Congratulations to President-elect Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America. Congratulations to Senator-elect Dave McCormick, and we are not going to allow Democrats to steal this seat from us. Furthermore, congratulations, because we defeated Matt Cartwright, giving President Trump an additional seat in Congress. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Rob Bresnahan. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Ryan McKenzie, defeating Democrats Susan Wild in Allentown and Lehigh. And I have a message. Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
have at it.
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit. Mark Elias and his cronies must be disbarred from practicing law in Pennsylvania, any of his cronies, for the misconduct that they did. I want you to know that I am going to spend all of my time in Bucks County for the next 3 years making sure that we take back this county. Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today.
Yeah, take a victory lap. This is our Rocky. This is Scott Pressler. And you think about somebody who really came out of nowhere, if you will, and built this coalition, worked hard. I mean, it began with one man, and I think it's so important to think about these grassroots movements. And you really did this. The citizens far and wide, not just Bucks County. And I have to give a shout out to Linda Kearns, who, worked all weekend training people in. She, as we speak, she is actually witnessing the recount here in Philadelphia properly. I mean, this woman is amazing as well. These different people, they're the unsung heroes of this election to make sure that we protect the vote. But to all of you, and I feel like it was interactive, that you were calling saying, I'm in line and, I'm stuck here. And then in real time, we'd have word from, for example, Linda saying, stay in line, stand your ground, all the different individuals. And that really mattered. It has protected the vote. But now you're hearing this. I mean, it's a rally call to say we are peacefully, properly, legally going to make sure that they fill these seats with people who abide by the law. That's what Scott Pressler is really doing. That's what he's saying. In the crowd, by the way, take me through. I know that Joan Cullen is there. I know I see some friends. I see a lot of my friends. I think I see Marion. I think I see Denise.
Yep.
So a lot of very activated people who maybe are leaving on their lunch break, heading over there, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you see?
Jim Worthington, owner of the Newtown Athletic Center, sitting right behind Scott Pressler next to his person that does a lot of great work in the community, that being Linda. Not Linda Kearns, another Linda. You have, as you said, Joan Cullen, another individual that's been very active in local politics, this guy by the name of Simon Campbell, who's been doing a lot of school board work. He just spoke. Pat Poprick, the head of the Bucks County GOP, she's sitting there a couple seats down from Scott Pressler, and live comments are still going on, but we wanted to bring you those Pressler comments as soon as possible.
Well, and that's the beauty of being live and local. Obviously, Dom Giordano's all fired up. He's in his
Did you
studio.
see him in here watching it live?
He was in here watching it live. So Dom is, all over this. And that's the beauty of it, that you never miss a thing. We're all here. I mean, we're in the house and we're working hard to bring all of this. You think about all the breaking news, whether it's in Philadelphia, Bucks County, Montgomery County, Delco, statewide, looking at what's happening talking about all these different possibilities of strikes, SEPTA. And that means SEPTA workers, not just here in Philadelphia, but across the region. And then all of those AFSCME union members, they're at the table, they're talking, but this strike looms. They've authorized that huge strike. You're talking about, I believe, close to 20,000 people could strike, and that affects all of us on so many different levels. We're monitoring it all for you, and then, boom, as soon as, we just hand it off, and Dom, obviously, the Dominator, he comes in, brings all of this to you, and he has so much cooking. And then Zioli, then Jimmy Fela. Oh, my goodness. It's very exciting. There's I feel this new energy. Do you feel this? I don't know what it is about today, but there's like a new energy. I love it.
Yeah, it's like a renewed. I love it too.
Thank God.
And just the producers know we are in communication with Scott Pressler.
Perfect.
And we'd love to bring him as soon as possible on the 1210. He'll probably be on with us on the Dom Show as this continues. Also, side note, coming up on Monday, I mentioned it before the clip, but if you'd like to make your way out to the Newtown Athletic Center, we'll be doing a live broadcast for the Dom Giordano program, joined in person by Scott Pressler, Linda Kearns, some others. Jim Worthington will be there. So you can come out, get to meet some of the names that you're hearing here, and really great work over there in Bucks County from some Republicans fighting for voter integrity.
And do you think while you're there, do you think that maybe as this recount is happening, because Linda Kearns had said that we should have all the Philadelphia numbers, the Philadelphia recount is expected to be done by Friday. So do you think that maybe by the Dom Show on Monday that you'd have Casey concede? Maybe Casey would concede on the Dom Show.
Yes, well, let's hope. Because
how about that?
The truth is that Linda has very, very strong responsibilities with all this, and we hope that she doesn't have to continue on in court. So
that's right.
Let's hope it's all wrapped by Friday, and we have an answer there.
Yeah, and by the way, she took me through, because not everybody reports on all. There's a lot. She did take me through. As far as, so today she's not in court. Since 8 o'clock this morning, she actually she's a witness, if you will. She's an attorney and witness physically watching the recount. but there were 607. This was appealed. 607 undated or misdated ballots, and so now the Philadelphia board has voted not to count those, and that happened so she was in court until after 6 last night, by the way, and then back early this morning. Then she appealed 966 ballots where affidavits were missing a lot of important information like your address, your proper birth date, your proper information. On that one, with the 966 ballots with the affidavits, they were missing the info. She said she lost that one. I'm not sure why, because they were missing a lot of data, but I guess the law is a little mushy on that one. Then there was a big one where Casey had appealed 2,073 of these ballots that did not have the voter signature. They were missing critical things like the envelope or a signature, something that was critical. And as far as that one, that was a win for Linda, a win for McCormick. So overall, she had the one that was a smaller case. But if you look at it, thousands, it was like 3,000 that she won. In other words, they were 3,000 illegal ballots that they kept out. So just kind of, I just want to make it clear that across the Commonwealth, all these different lawsuits, it's almost like spinning plates, So what did you want to go to next, Dan? I know we got to go to break. All right, we have to go to break really quick. 855-839-1210. A lot of excitement, a lot of breaking news.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules. Don't miss a special edition of the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance, this Saturday, November 23rd at noon. Find out about important issues that'll affect you. Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show this Saturday at noon.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The heated, packed Board of Commissioners meeting in Bucks County making national news right now. You heard Scott Pressler speaking out, and we're just getting started here on the Dawn Show leading into the Dom Giordano Show. But, Dan, you just found some fiery testimony.
Yeah, some fiery public comment, Dawn. Take a listen.
Rebecca Simmons, Morrisville Borough. Marsaglia. The news reports claimed that you apologized for your behavior last week when you gave your rationale for ignoring the rulings of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. And similar to your fake apology today, you claim that your comments were taken out of context. Cut me a break. We're not stupid. You may think we are, but we are not. You all took an oath, and you seem to have forgotten that. It is appalling that as elected officials, Marseglia and Harvey, that you decided to count illegal ballots. There's something really wrong with both of you. And I think the majority of our county agrees. You, Marseglia, said that if you violate this law, it's because you want a court to pay attention to it. Well, congrats. You even got the attention of CNN. And that's not a compliment. You, Marseglia and Harvey, should be ashamed of yourselves and held legally accountable for breaking the law.
Here we go, legally.
You are both an embarrassment to our county, our state, and our entire country. I am calling today for you both to resign, and I ask that you do so immediately. And Marseglia, I hope you do. You can roll your eyes all you want, sweetie. I hope you do get the attention of the court.
Dom, it's getting
Criminal
fiery.
court.
Ooh. They want to cuff her. Marseglia. Dom Giordano. They're getting tough. They've had it in Bucks County.
I hope so, Dawn. But, we're going to try to determine what about people that vote in Bucks County? Why did they vote for these people? Abortion, of all things, seemed to be the leading issue. Do they get it now? Dr. Damsker was mentioned today prominently in some of the protests, some of the press conferences. Just a glaring example of what they do. But I think Dave Sunday is warming up in the bullpen. Hopefully the new attorney general will go after her for election interference. That's what has to be done to make the statement complete.
Well, it's going to be a great Dom show. I know you have so much teed up. We're just getting started really today with all the breaking news. A great Dom show just ahead.
Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. This year, skip the holiday hustle and bustle and save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, get a $30 reward card when you shop early and score an extra $30 off with promo code NICK. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience. And the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages starting at $89.99. From legendary steaks to mouth-watering desserts and more. Save 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code NICK and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code NICK. Minimum purchase may apply.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New